Losing a job is often accompanied by feelings of uncertainty and disappointment. Yet within the dynamic realm of the entertainment industry, such setbacks can unveil unforeseen opportunities for growth and success. This phenomenon is exemplified by numerous cases where individuals transitioned from one role to another, ultimately achieving remarkable acclaim. For instance, consider the remarkable shift from a Queen's Oscar-nominated dramatic portrayal to a comedic star's emergence as a wisecracking cop on SNL. Similarly, the unexpected replacements of lead characters in esteemed films like the 2007 drama There Will Be Blood have demonstrated the serendipitous nature of such changes, ultimately proving to be pivotal and fortuitous decisions. In the production of There Will Be Blood, the initial selection for the captivating preacher, Eli Sunday, was actor and director Kel O'Neill. Nevertheless, following a month of filming, director Paul Thomas Anderson concluded that O'Neill didn't quite encapsulate the essence of the character. In light of this, a replacement was imperative. Enter Paul Dano, who had already been cast in a lesser role but emerged as the ideal candidate to embody Eli Sunday, stunning everyone with his compelling portrayal. In a parallel vein, the task of casting for the adaptation of the best-selling erotic drama, 50 Shades of Grey, presented a formidable challenge to director Sam Taylor Johnson. Auditions were held with numerous prominent actresses, including Emilia Clarke, vying for the role of Anastasia Steele. Contemplation of including Hollywood's top-tier leading men like Robert Pattinson and Ryan Gosling also took place. However, the initial lead actor, Charlie Hunnam, found himself compelled to withdraw from the project a mere month prior to the commencement of filming due to conflicting scheduling obligations. Consequently, the role was swiftly filled by Jamie Dornan following a whirlwind succession of auditions. Director David Fincher encountered significant casting hurdles during the production of his 2002 thriller Panic Room. Initially eyeing Nicole Kidman and Hayden Panettiere for pivotal roles, Fincher's plans were derailed when both actresses withdrew from the project. Panettiere's departure prior to filming necessitated a swift replacement, ultimately introducing Kristen Stewart to her breakout leading role. Meanwhile, Kidman's exit, prompted by an injury just 2 weeks into shooting, left a void that was promptly filled by the esteemed Jodie Foster, who seamlessly assumed the character originally intended for Kidman. These casting shakeups added an unexpected layer of complexity to the film's production, but ultimately led to a noteworthy ensemble that captivated audiences upon the movie's release. In the nascent phases of pre-production for Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, director Steven Spielberg found himself grappling with the casting decision for the titular role. Despite Harrison Ford's proven talent in several of George Lucas's prior cinematic ventures, Spielberg harbored reservations about his suitability for the part. Interestingly, Tom Selleck had been earmarked for the role of Indiana Jones initially, only to find himself entangled in contractual commitments with CBS, rendering him unable to accept the coveted role. Faced with an imminent commencement of filming and a pressing need to find their leading man, the production team swiftly pivoted, opting to cast Harrison Ford with a mere 3 weeks to spare before cameras started rolling. This fateful decision not only sealed Ford's fate as the embodiment of the swashbuckling archaeologist, but also propelled the character of Indiana Jones into the pantheon of cinematic legends. Michelle Pfeiffer's unforgettable depiction of Catwoman in Batman Returns nearly never came to fruition. Initially, director Tim Burton envisioned Annette Bening in the role, a decision that left Pfeiffer deeply disheartened. Fate intervened when Bening had to withdraw from the project due to pregnancy, presenting Pfeiffer with the opportunity to realize her lifelong aspiration and embody the iconic feline character with her own unique flair. In the case of The Lovely Bones, director Peter Jackson initially cast Ryan Gosling as the grieving father. However, Gosling's unplanned physical transformation, which deviated significantly from the character's envisioned appearance, prompted his removal from the role just before filming commenced. This unexpected turn of events left the production team scrambling to find a suitable replacement. Mark Wahlberg emerged as a last-minute savior, bravely stepping into the role with only 1 day's notice, demonstrating his versatility and commitment to the project. In 1987, during the initial casting process for the seminal film Predator, the role of the titular creature was initially earmarked for Jean-Claude Van Damme, rather than the iconic portrayal by Arnold Schwarzenegger. At that time, Van Damme, yet to ascend to stardom, harbored misconceptions regarding his part, anticipating a showcase of his visage and anticipating engaging in close combat with Schwarzenegger's character. Disillusionment struck when he realized he was slated to serve primarily as a stunt performer encased in a stifling creature suit. Voicing his dissatisfaction, Van Damme's discontent prompted director John McTiernan to undertake a substantial revision of the film's direction. This involved the substitution of Van Damme with Kevin Peter Hall, a decision that facilitated the transformation of the Predator's appearance into the indelible and menacing visage that has since become emblematic of the franchise. Thus, McTiernan's intervention not only averted a potential casting misstep, but also catalyzed the creation of the enduringly iconic portrayal of the Predator character. In 2012, when Ang Lee undertook the ambitious project of adapting Life of Pi, his vision centered on assembling a cast predominantly comprised of lesser-known talents, with the exception of Tobey Maguire, who was slated to portray John Martell. Yet, Maguire's prominence threatened the coherence of the ensemble, prompting the decision to replace him with Rafe Spall, thus ensuring a harmonious blend within the film's globally diverse cast. This strategic casting choice proved instrumental in propelling the movie to critical acclaim, evidenced by its remarkable achievement of garnering 11 Academy Award nominations and clinching 4 prestigious wins, cementing its status as a cinematic masterpiece. In Baz Luhrmann's reimagined rendition of Romeo and Juliet, set in the 1990s, selecting Leonardo DiCaprio for the role of Romeo was a natural decision. However, the quest for an ideal Juliet presented difficulties. While initially considering a 14-year-old Natalie Portman for the role, the significant age contrast became evident with DiCaprio, who was 21 at the time, coming on board. Subsequently, Claire Danes stepped into the role, replacing Portman. Despite the notable age gap, the chemistry between DiCaprio and Danes on screen was met with acclaim and added depth to their portrayals. Judy Garland, celebrated for her iconic portrayal of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, encountered profound career hurdles in the latter part of the 1940s, exacerbated by deteriorating mental well-being and reliance on substances. Despite her immense talent, Garland encountered setbacks, notably being dismissed from several film projects such as Valley of the Dolls in 1967, where Susan Hayward stepped in as her replacement. Regrettably, Garland's battles persisted, culminating tragically in her premature passing at the age of 47. The production of the 2018 biographical drama, Can You Ever Forgive Me?, embarked on an arduous 11-year journey fraught with various challenges, notably in the realm of financing. Just prior to the commencement of filming, the project encountered a significant setback as both Julianne Moore, initially slated for a leading role, and director Nicole Holofcener departed from the production. However, this setback paved the way for the entrance of Melissa McCarthy and Marielle Heller, who courageously stepped into their respective roles, infusing the project with renewed vigor and determination. In hindsight, Moore candidly revealed that she was indeed dismissed from the project, a revelation accompanied by her generous commendation of McCarthy's stellar performance in assuming the role. The unforeseen twist in events not only showcased the resilience of the production team, but also emphasized the profound impact of adaptation and collaboration amidst challenges. Before achieving stardom in Hollywood, Sylvester Stallone was initially earmarked to portray the lead character, Axel Foley, in Beverly Hills Cop. Stallone went to the extent of revising parts of the script to better suit his acting persona. However, Just a mere fortnight prior to the commencement of filming, Stallone parted ways with the project, citing his discontent with the comedic direction of the film. This pivotal decision ultimately paved the way for Eddie Murphy to step into the role, delivering an unforgettable and iconic performance that solidified his status as a comedic powerhouse. Judd Apatow's film Knocked Up encountered significant hurdles during the casting process for the female lead. Initially, Anne Hathaway was slated for the role, but she ultimately withdrew from the project, citing discomfort with the explicit nature of the birth scene depicted in the screenplay. This departure led to Katherine Heil stepping in as her replacement, a decision that ultimately proved fortuitous as Heil brought her own brand of charisma and authenticity to the role, fostering a seamless on-screen rapport with her co-star Seth Rogen. Colin Firth, acclaimed for his distinguished voice, was originally cast to lend his vocal talents to the endearing character of Paddington in the highly anticipated live-action adaptation of the beloved bear's adventures. However, as the production progressed into post-production, a noticeable incongruity emerged between Firth's mature voice and Paddington's youthful and exuberant persona depicted on screen. Recognizing the importance of maintaining authenticity and ensuring that the character's voice seamlessly matched his appearance and personality, Firth made the difficult decision to step down from the role. This voluntary withdrawal from the project occurred mere months before the scheduled release of the film. Subsequently, the responsibility of giving voice to Paddington fell to the capable and versatile actor Ben Whishaw, who admirably embraced the challenge and brought a fresh energy and charm to the character, ultimately winning over audiences with his endearing portrayal. Following the resounding triumphs of the initial 2 installments in the Transformers series, director Michael Bay demonstrated a pragmatic approach in addressing the departure of Megan Fox from Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Recognizing that the franchise's allure transcended the romantic subplot, Bay astutely navigated the casting change. Megan Fox's dismissal stemmed from her candid remarks in a 2009 Wonderland magazine interview, wherein she drew parallels between Bay's on-set demeanor and that of a certain dictator. Despite the controversy surrounding Fox's comments and ensuing allegations regarding her work ethic, executive producer Steven Spielberg's influence ultimately led to her replacement. Rosie Huntington Whiteley stepped into the spotlight, embodying a fresh energy within the blockbuster franchise. Despite the casting shuffle, Transformers: Dark of the Moon sustained the series' commercial momentum, commanding the box office with an impressive gross exceeding $1 billion. The Twilight Saga, a cultural phenomenon credited with popularizing supernatural romances, encountered unforeseen casting adjustments when Rochelle Lefevre, the actress embodying the character of Vampire Victoria, was unexpectedly substituted with Bryce Dallas Howard. Lefevre attributed her departure to conflicting commitments and disparities in creative vision, whereas the studio contended that Lefevre failed to disclose the extent of her scheduling conflicts. Despite the ensuing controversy surrounding the switch, Bryce Dallas Howard seamlessly stepped into the role and contributed to the ongoing prosperity of the franchise with her portrayal. In the realm of sci-fi action cinema, the trajectory of the film Demolition Man took an unexpected turn when Lori Petty, initially slated for the role eventually portrayed by Sandra Bullock, found herself replaced after a few days of filming. The decision was purportedly prompted by creative disparities or a perceived lack of synergy between Petty and Sylvester Stallone, the lead actor. This fortuitous shift in casting proved to be a pivotal moment for Bullock, catapulting her into the spotlight. Not only did it mark her inaugural foray into a high-budget feature film, but it also paved the way for her breakout performance in Speed, a role that would solidify her status as a leading figure in Hollywood. During the production of the iconic Back to the Future trilogy, a significant development arose concerning the portrayal of George McFly, a pivotal character portrayed by actor Crispin Glover. Owing to mounting tensions with the creators and contractual disputes, Glover was ultimately replaced by Jeffrey Weissman. This substitution required intricate prosthetics to closely emulate Glover's appearance, a decision that triggered a legal maelstrom surrounding the alleged unauthorized utilization of Glover's likeness. As the controversy unfolded, legal actions were initiated, adding another layer of complexity to the already intricate narrative of the beloved film series. Amidst the tumult of domestic abuse allegations levied against Johnny Depp, Warner Brothers swiftly opted to replace him with the esteemed actor Mads Mikkelsen in the highly anticipated film Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. However, subsequent to Depp's legal triumph in the courts, conjecture has arisen regarding the possibility of his reinstatement in the franchise. Nevertheless, any plans for sequels to the franchise purportedly find themselves at an impasse as the studio navigates the complexities surrounding the situation.